My name's Randy. I'm about to let Josh go over the agenda real quick. So here's Josh Curry.
Hey, hi everyone. Thanks for being here today. Like Randy said, I'm going to go over the agenda just very briefly. Randy is going to do a quick review of the content that I covered. And so if he seems to go through that portion quickly, just bear in mind you can get more detail on part one in the PD portal. You can request that training and do that. So he is going to move through that portion a little bit faster than we did last time. He's going to do a brief guided tour through Canva, which is going to cover your home page and your design page. And then he's going to get into what I would consider the meat of today's training with some hands-on things, talk about the design school and the features that are there. He's going to go over some practical applications, how you can use this for marketing your program, how you can use it in your classroom, how you can use it on social media. And there's more details about using it on social media if you go look in the PD portal for the webinar that Cheryl Smith did. So we want to recommend that to you as well. Lastly, Randy's going to go over how to share your presentation. We're going to look at lesson plans, and then we're going to wrap up. And me and Randy are looking forward to this. So I'm going to turn it back over to him, and we're going to get started.
Well, thank you, Josh. What I'd like to start with, I always like to start with an inspirational quote. Every time I teach, I always put something up. This is from Mark Twain. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. Josh and I like to joke that just because you see a quote on the internet doesn't mean it actually came from that person, but I'm about 75% sure this one really came from Mark Twain. If you find out differently, please let us know. So we're going to go ahead and go through review part one of Canva. And just let me say now, if you missed part one, that's okay. You're still going to get something out of this one, okay? So to start off part one, let's get started, shall we? First of all, and you can take some time right now while we're discussing it, if you haven't created a Canva account or log on, go to canva.com, C-A-N-V-A, and there's one of three ways you can log on. You can use your Google account, your Facebook account, or your email. I haven't tried the email, but Josh says it takes a little bit longer that way. I usually go through my Google account. So the first thing you need to know about Canva, it's free. It's easy to use. There is an option for Canva Pro, but I haven't found a reason to use it yet. I still like the free everything on there, and just want to remind you, every image you see today will be from Canva. Let's move on here. Now we've started. Now let's get ahead. Time is of the essence. Josh and Anne-Marie and I were talking about this earlier. There's so much stuff on Canva. It's easy to get sucked into the rabbit hole and spend hours looking around. So if you're in a hurry to make a presentation, don't get lost looking. Pick a template and move on. I'm going to show you today how to pick a template, how to choose a background, etc., and how to find and use the time savers. There's a slide at the bottom of this called Tips for Productivity. Josh put that together. A few weeks ago, we were having a staff meeting, and it was going over forms and policies and all that exciting stuff that you need to know. And Josh came up in the middle of it and did these slides that he got from Canva and put together, and it just kind of re-energized the room. So you can use Canva for lots of different things, and I'm excited to show you some of the features that we didn't get a chance to look at last time. So let's keep on with the review of part one. Let's try to stay ahead. There are some time savers. I'm going to discuss three of them real quick. There's a search feature, the template, and the text box. And again, all these pictures came from canva.com. So let's talk about the search feature. There's two ways to search for something: category folders or keyword search. I'm mainly going to discuss keyword search today because I found that to be the easiest for everything I've done so far. The template feature, I really like that picture in the middle. It says, with a win a tour of the Australian outback. But suppose you like the picture, but you don't want the Australian outback in there. I'm going to show you how to click on something like that, delete it, and type in what you want to put there over that picture, which I think is a really good feature. And I'm also going to talk about the text box feature. You can choose a header, a subtitle, a body text, and adjust the font and size to complement your design. I'll show you how to dig into all that and find what you need to really spice up a presentation and make it more visually appealing. We're going to get started in a minute. I'm going to go over to the Canva website. By now, you should have logged into your Canva account. If you haven't, that's okay, but if you have logged in, this is what it looks like, your home page. It'll say Design Anything. There's a search box. Off to the top left that's circled was a blue box that says Create a Design. We're going to be working from there a lot. That's, for most of the things I've done, that's been my starting point. And if you're on your home page, once you start designing things, you'll have your designs will be at the bottom of the home page there. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start some hands-on training. The first thing I'm going to do is go through a couple of quick tutorials. This will kind of show you what you can do with Canva. Here's the website here. And so what I'm going to do, it should look like this. Well, I'm going to go to the Canva toolkit right here. Last time, Josh went over the starter challenge. I'm going to click on Canva toolkit. And here we go, essential Canva tools. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit. It has some things here, learn and do. On dark backgrounds, make your text white. You can change your text. I'm going to come over here to where it says change the text color. Click on that box. Come up here to where it says text color, that capital A with the line under it, and you can change the text to whatever color you want. So I think that's pretty cool. I'm going to scroll down here to the next one. Always use grids for your images. I'm going to click on the lady making the binoculars, and I'm going to pull it down here, and as it says, there's a hint. Drag and drop, and it snaps to fill the grid, which is a pretty cool feature. Go down here. I've got some food here, and it says pizza, and it says add some text. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the do here and scroll down, and I'm going to click on it. And I'm using the backspace button to delete do, and I'm going to type in free lunch, but you can type over any picture or background on Canva. And scroll down here to where it says learn and do. Anytime you want to adjust a picture, fit a grid, I double clicked on it. Pretty cool. And now I want to move the picture so that you can see the dog's face. Click off of it, and the picture is moved. And the next one is way to lay out your images, upload your own pictures onto Canva. We'll discuss that in a little bit. And that's the end of that tutorial. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to back out, go back to the tutorial page here. And I've talked about Canva Toolkit, and now I'm briefly going to cover Canva Helpful Hints. So I'm clicked on it. We have Canva Tips and Tricks. Last week, somebody asked, what's the difference between Canva and PowerPoint and Word? And my answer was, when I look at PowerPoint, I just see an empty box that's a challenge, something I have to fill. When I look at Canva, I see all these opportunities of things to fill in with that. And to me, that's the selling point for Canva. To me, this is what makes Canva so appealing. So I'm going to scroll down here, and we're going to drag an element below to the next page. You see the little map here, folded up map, and I'm going to get it. I'm just going to click on it and drag it and drop it. And there you go. You can take an image or text box from one page to the other. You can resize it. I'm going to actually show you how to add a page during a little presentation here in a little bit. Let me scroll on here. You can Control Copy and Control V to paste, copy and paste. You can do the same with images on Canva. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to hit Control Copy. I'm going to come here, and I'm going to click Control V, and it pops up. And, of course, you can move it around to wherever you want on the page. This one, you can move your arrow keys around. I'm going to click on the text here. And if you just hit your arrow key, it moves very slowly. But if you hold down the Shift key, you'll see that it moves a lot quicker so that you can move the text to wherever you want on the slide. And this one, if you see there's several pictures together that you want to move, but you don't want to move them all one at a time, I just hold down the left button on the mouse, get a little grid around it, and you can move those pictures around to wherever you want. So it's pretty cool. And this is just a helpful hint. You have one for a final design and a different one for a workspace to move things around that you can delete later. So that tutorial is complete. So we're about to get some hands-on training here in a little bit. So far, so good, no problems. Well, that's good because I'm going to show you how easy it is to do a design. So I'm going to click back to Canva. This is the home page that I pointed out earlier. And as I said, I like to start with the create a design up here, up at the top left. I'll scroll down here to where it says presentation. It takes it a few seconds there. And I encourage you to do the same. This is what's known as the design page or the editor page. I've heard both ways. So most of everything you're going to do is here on the left side of the screen. We're on templates right now. I'm going to run through this just real quick. I clicked on pictures, and you got pictures coming up. You can choose any picture. A lot of the pictures are free, as you can see there, but there's some that you do have to pay for. So they start at $1, and I think they go up. But we're not going to get into that today. Let's go below that to elements. And let's say, just to kind of play around, let's double click on the bananas and they pop up on the screen. But then you say, no, that's not what I want. Come back up here to where it says undo. Click it and the bananas disappear. You can also hit the backspace button on your keyboard or Control Shift and Z. All right, let's look at the text box here. You can add a heading or a subheading. What I'd like to do is kind of show you something if I can find it. Let's say you want to make a happy birthday for somebody. Put it over here. I just clicked on it. I'm making it bigger. I'm going to go here and click on background. And let's say this person I'm telling happy birthday to loves the beach. I'm going to click on that, and ta-da, you have a nice little birthday card. And too bad you're not at the beach, you're at work. But I think this is a pretty cool little feature right here. You see how quick it is. So I'm going to X out of that, click out of that. Uploads, I have the Angelina College here. You can actually drag and drop images from your desktop to put here if you want to. You have your own picture you want to put in a presentation. Folders is interesting. I want to show something real quick while it's on my mind. I'm going to go back up here to photos. Now let's say you're making a presentation today and you come across a picture that you really like, but it just doesn't quite fit the theme of the presentation you're doing right now, and there's obviously thousands of photos and you're afraid you might lose it and never see it again. Here's a way to save it to make sure that you can come back to it later. Let me scroll down and find something here. This right here, you see where it says free? Just leave your mouse on it and come up here to where these 3 dots are. Click on those 3 dots, click on the heart for like, and then go back over here to folders, click on likes, and it shows every picture that you've saved so you can come back to it later for a different presentation. Anyway, I think that's a pretty good feature. And I'm going to save the more for later on because there's some cool little tricks I want to show you towards the end of the presentation. What I would like to do now is sort of get, as a used car salesman might say, let's see what this baby can do. So I'm going to click on a template, just something plain Jane here, essential things to do before every presentation. So I want to work on a presentation and I want to show you how to change things around. First thing I want to do is name my presentation. Come up here, click right there, and you can name this whatever you want. Up here at the top, and I'm just going to show you everything here. You can upgrade to Canva Pro if you want. If you have a presentation and you want to share it with somebody, click here on share, type in the email, and then you check on whether or not they can edit what you've done and then send the invite. You can download. When I've printed stuff, I've been printing it to PDF and printing it out there. And of course, you can present. You can go into presentation mode or download it or share a web link, and I'll show you all that here in a minute. So let's get started. I've clicked on the background. I'm going to come up here to, I'm going to go over here to backgrounds and scroll up a little bit. And let's say this presentation, I want you to feel like we're sitting on the front porch just talking. I'll double click on that, and there he is. We're sitting on a porch. And I look at it and I say, well, you know, maybe I want to change the color of the porch. You can go here to the color palette. I said, no, I don't like that. I'm going to go back to where it was. You can also come over here to where it says transparency. Let's say that the porch is just it's catching the eye too much. You can click on transparency, and there's a little transparency slide here, and you can kind of make it fade out just a little bit so that people are focusing more on the text itself. You can also lock the background if you want, or if you get to working on it, don't like it, you can always delete it. And you can adjust or crop or flip or whatever you want to do. What I'm going to do now is click on the essential things to do, the actual text. And here, you can also do the transparency slide. You can go from bold to invisible ink to back again. So however you want to do it. Here's one thing that worried me when I first started playing around with Canva. You click off to the side, you see that everything disappears. Well, don't worry, just click back on the text box and everything comes back. You can click on position here, and you can move everything around. Go back to the middle. You can click on duplicate, and that looks weird, but you can move that around and say, no, I don't like that. I want to take that off. You can play with the spacing, the letter, and the line height. You can click on whether you want to do a list, a bullet point, or numbers, or back to normal. You can make everything capitalized. I mean, there's lots of things. You can play with the alignment. You can make it italics. It's already bold, but you can unbold it. And of course, as always, you can change the color of the font. Ooh, that looks bad. I'm going to go back to where it was. Black. You can change the size of the font, and you can change the font itself. All right? So let's say you're working on this and you need another page. You can go to the bottom where it says add a new page, or you can click here. Click there, and you'll see it's the same background, but there's no text on it. You can you want to add a comment for later on for during a presentation for yourself. All right, so now I'm going to come down here to the bottom of the screen where it says, I'm going to click on this 63%, and say my eyes are going a little bit and I need it a little bit bigger. I click on that, make it a little bit bigger, and then I decide I want to make it go back to where it was. You just click on fit, and it's in there. If you want a thumbnail view of the tiles, you can click on that, and it shows you what you've been working on. And I'm going to come down here and you X out of that. Suppose you want to do presentation mode. You click full screen, and there it is right there. And then you can click out of that. And then the most important thing I'm going to show you on this page is the help button. You can click on help, and there's all kinds of things here. I'm going to click on guide to Canva, and you can create your first design. There's a little video here that you can watch and different things you can click on. That's the best thing about Canva. There's always things you can click on to get a little bit of extra help or a tip. Now that you've seen how easy and quick it is, and some of y'all might have been doing that while playing along while I was playing with it, but I want you to see how easy it is to make your own design. And we're going to give you 2 minutes and 30 seconds to create the design. And here's what I would like you to do.
Randy, before we do that, I don't want to jump, but there was a really good question.
Okay.
And before we start practicing, I want to answer this question. Jessie had a great question. She asks, can we upload a created PowerPoint to this platform to enhance it or to enhance this old PowerPoint?
You should be able to just by copy and pasting. I haven't tried it. That's a good question, but I've been able to put pictures from my desktop onto it using Upload, and you should be able to do the same thing.
Okay.
So that's kind of a 90% yes. Sorry. I haven't tried it myself, but that's a very good question.
Yep, Jessie, okay, she says okay. And
Okay.
Carrie just said the magnifying option you have down at the bottom that I didn't know was there either, and she says, thanks, a handy tool for my old eyes. Okay, so
Join the club.
Exactly, me too. All right, so we're ready to go. And just as the moderator, I want to remind everybody that we're going to take these directions in steps. So I want you, when Randy gives you the directions, let us know in the chat pod or raise your virtual hand when you're done with the steps, okay? That way we can know that we haven't lost anybody, okay? Does it sound good to everybody? We're going to take this one step at a time.
Exactly. So what I'm going to do now is click back to Canva, and I want to show you what I want you to do, and then we'll give you time to do it. All right. You should be back on Canva. So what I'm going to do is go to Templates, and what I'm going to do, where it says in the search bar, it says Presentation, I'm going to click, and I'm going to type in Education, and hit Enter. And then I'm just going to pick one at random. And what I want you to do is kind of play around with it, play with the background, change the color if you want. I'm going to ask you to click on the text box and then click behind the last letter there. And I'm going to delete all that, and I'm going to type in Angelina College. And that's what I'm going to want y'all to do. You don't have to type in Angelina College. But let me go back to the PowerPoint so I can read the directions to you. So here's the steps. And what I'd like you to do is first do steps 1, 2, and 3. If you've gone to your home page, click on Create a Design, which remember is in the top left. It's a little blue icon. And once you click on that, it'll scroll down, click on Presentation. All right. And now, behind Presentation on that search bar, click on it, and I want you to type in Education. And the reason I'm giving you 2.5 minutes for this is I want y'all all to see in less than 3 minutes you can come up with something that looks really good. You can create something from nothing. And so I think this is an important step for you. Once you type in Education, I want you to pick a template and double click it so it appears on your design page. Then I want you, step 6, click on background and change the color of the background of the template. And now I want you to click on the text, delete what's in there, and type in the name of your program. Now, if you've been following along, this shouldn't take very long at all. So while you're there, to take up the rest of the time, click around, play with it.
Let us know when you've completed 5 and 6, okay?
Yes, please.
Yeah, let's
I don't want to lose anybody. I apologize if I'm going a little fast.
That's okay. We always do that on webinars. We go too fast. Okay, go on to, now what do they need to do for 7 and 8, please?
Okay, for step 7, click on the text in the text box in the template and delete whatever's written there and type in the name of your program. So, Rebecca, if you clicked on Teaching Math, click on Teaching Math, delete that, and type in the name of your program. Or Hi Randy, or whatever you want to put on there, even though I can't see it. And then step 8, again, you're just typing on there, because like I said, I mainly just want y'all to get some hands-on to see how easy it is to change the background and type things in. I try to keep all the directions on one page so you don't have to click back and forth to find what to do next.
Yeah, that's great, Randy. This is great, because then I'm just putting it in the chat pod for them, too.
Okay, great. I see that. All right, and when you're done, let us know. If you've changed it and typed in everything, yes, absolutely. Absolutely, that's an option.
Yeah, so let me read this. Ashley, yes, I'm not going to be able to share here because I'm working on a super small Chromebook, but I will create mine and post in the community of practice if that's an option. Ashley, let me create a folder, and then that's definitely an option. Thank you for sharing. And Carrie says she's done. Finished, all is great. Jessie, thank you. Sharon says she's done. Very good. Now, while we're waiting, and we're kind of just finishing up here, I have a question. Is there a way there's not a music option? Is there?
Oh, isn't there?
Oh, maybe there is.
I'm going to get to that in a little while. Yes.
Oh. Okay. All right. I'm being quiet now.
No, it's okay. I'm just being a smarty. So yes, there is an option for that, and I'm going to show it to you towards the end of the presentation. So if everybody's done with this, I'm going to move on to the next slide. Do you have a question? And I think Josh here has a quick comment. Hang on just a second.
Uh, yeah, excuse me. I did want to remind everyone that although we're looking at a presentation, everything that Randy is showing you how to do is going to be pretty much the same no matter what document you decide to produce in Canva. Whether you're going to do something with the social media feature, whether you're going to do something in the marketing category, whether you're going to do a document like a resume or a lesson plan, all of these steps that Randy has gone through with us so far today apply across the board. So don't be intimidated to go out there and try other features, other documents, other categories, because nothing's really going to change. You're going to see the same look. You're going to see the same toolbars. You're going to see the same time savers, and you're going to be able to apply what you learn in Part 1 and Part 2 to anything that Canva allows you to do. So I just wanted to remind everyone about that, and just encourage everyone to build their folders and have something ready, because you never know when a student may come in and need help with a resume, or when someone might need help producing a lesson plan or something like that. And if you already have it in your Canva folder, it makes it that much easier for you to get to work with, and to share out with other people. So I just wanted to remind everyone about that and turn it back over to Randy.
Thank you, Josh. Randy, before we move on, I do have a question from Jesse. Is there an option to record the presentation? Does that mean, I'm not sure if I understand, with a voice, Jesse? Jesse says in PowerPoint, you're able to record the presentations.
Again, that's a very good question. I have not run across that, but we're going to look at when we get to towards the end of the presentation, there are some options to put in there, and I think if it's possible, we'll probably stumble across it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think, Jesse, too, there's an option in PowerPoint to script the slides so that you hear a voice. Is that what you mean, too? Okay, I thought that's what you meant.
Okay.
So we'll see. Okay, great
Yeah,
question.
Yeah, great question, Jesse. Thank you. All right, well, I'm going to move on to the next slide then. So Canva offers great learning resources, articles, tutorials, walkthroughs, and more. So let's go to school. Let's look at the Canva Design School. I'm going to click back over to Canva. I'm going to go to Home, to Canva. All right, this is the home page. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Design School. I'm underneath Creative Design. I'm going to come down here and click on Design School, and it opens up to here. And this is a pretty good resource. You can start courses. There's 12 lessons it takes about 20 minutes for social media. Scrolling down, graphic design, branding your business, presentations to impress. Canva for beginners is a good one. This is where I started when I first started playing around with Canva. So I suggest that. I'm not going to click on it, but that's a good place to get started. What I'm going to do now, actually, is I'm going to actually click on something to talk about. So just remember, the Design School is there for any help. And this is one thing we're going to talk about next. We're going to learn about 10 ways to take your lessons to the next level with Canva. As educators, this is what we can use to help our students. So I'm going to actually click back to the Canva website, and I'm going to click, I'm sorry, Anne-Marie, you should post that into the chat pod. Do I need to go back to the PowerPoint?
No, I did already.
Oh, well,
we got it. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, and that's where they can find this 10 ways to take your lessons to the next level with Canva, right?
That's right. That's what we should be looking at.
Okay, so can you go back to Design School for a minute so they can kind of get focus on the page as to where this one is? I just want to give them I want to be able to have them eyeball where they need to go.
Okay. So I clicked on the Design School.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, this is an article that was written.
Okay.
It's 10 ways to take your lessons to the next level. It's canva.com/learn, and that's where you can Google 10 ways to take your lessons to the next level in case you can't save this this URL, or you can Google Canva tutorials and it pops up on Google and you can click to it. As you can see right now, I'm not signed in right now. This is just a separate little article that was written that was that I think has really got some good stuff in here.
Okay, what I'll do is I'll find it and put that link in the chat pod. Does everybody really quickly know how to take a link, put it into your browser, click on it, and then save it to your favorites bar on whatever browser you use? Does everybody know how to do that? Okay, so Jesse says yes. Sharon, Rebecca, Ashley can help you with that. Sharon says yes. That's a really good thing to use.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, to have a favorites bar, and there's and then that way you can have it for quick reference. So Greg.
Sorry about that. I should have shown you how I got here. I just Googled this the other day and came across it, and I thought it was something I wanted to share with y'all.
I can Google while you go on, and then I'll put it in the chat pod form.
Okay. And like I said, it should have the URL there as well into the PowerPoint. Well, anyone who grew up watching David Letterman loves any list with 10 items. So I'm going to go ahead and go through these. First, it says practice design thinking. You can transform the world when you approach it with the goal of imagining and creating. There's lots of hyperlinks on here, and you can go down the rabbit hole on a lot of these. I'm not going to click on many of them, but I would be remiss in my tech and tell duties if I didn't click on some of them. So, for example, I'm going to keep on going down here to, and here is some templates that you can click on. If you see something that looks really cool, you can use it and put it into a presentation. Number 2, you can design your own lesson plan. Canva has over 1 million images and 65,000 layouts to choose from. This is one that I like. They have as an example fiction versus nonfiction, and you can use this template if you just like the setup and you want to put your own text in it. This is a really cool template to use, fiction versus nonfiction. But number 3 here is a good one that I like a lot, is discover other educators' lesson plans. You can, if somebody else has done something, you can click on it. I'm going to click on this real quick. The one at the last paragraph of number 3, social change through persuasion. I clicked on that. And this is somebody that wrote this about how to make a successful poster. And let me give you an example. Here's the lesson plan that they wrote. It should pop up on your screen over here. I'm going to X out of that because I really want you to see this poster example that they made from using images from Canva. So, I mean, that's pretty cool, the things you can do with Canva that you can't do with some other websites. I'm going to X out of that. Another thing I like a lot is right here, this quick guide to Canva. Click on it. This is, I think, 19 pages, but it really can show you, it's going pretty fast, but it can really show you different things you can do with Canva. If you ever get lost in Canva, there's always a help button or quick guides around that you can watch.
Randy, can you do me a favor? I'll email you, but can you grab this, or maybe Josh can do this, grab this for me, because what I'll do is I'll upload all of these links into the community of practice, in the Tech and Tell community of practice for everybody, in a folder that says Canva. And that way we can link to this Canva quick guide and these links.
Okay, yes, no problem. Josh said he'll do it.
Okay. And so everybody, if you can't grab all these links, you can go right to the community of practice and grab these resources. Thanks.
Right.
Thanks,
yeah, and if you can't grab it, that's fine. It'll be in the community resources. I'm just kind of going through this kind of quickly because I wanted you to see how many resources there are. So I'm going to X out of this box here, and I'm going to go back to 10 ways to take your lessons to the next level. And I'm going to scroll through here to number 4. And this is help students create learning portfolios. And I wanted to spend a minute on this. Last week, somebody had a really good question. What can we do with Canva to help our students? And it got me to thinking, and then I was looking at this, and I realized what we could be able to do. Here at Angelina College, our students all have work folders that they keep either in the computer lab or the classroom that shows what they've done today, what they did yesterday, what they're working on. Well, I was thinking to myself, we have not implemented this yet. This is just an idea. What if we can get our students to make free accounts on Canva.com, and this way they can do their own learning portfolio where they can keep track of what they did in class or what they learned in computer, keep track of test scores, you know, GED practice test or GED scores or what they did on TABE or CASAs, and that way to get them more involved and also teach them digital literacy along the way. So anyway, that was just an idea I had. I'm going to try to get that implemented here at Angelina. I'm going to scroll down here to number 5 where you can create lecture slides and presentations. Canva is a fantastic resource. Also, you can set up your own website mode where you have students click on your unique URL. Scroll through here.
So, Randy, all these great ideas from this article that you're showing, no, this is from the Canva.
Yeah, this is from the Canva website, yeah.
Okay, these are all features in the free version still, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, thank you.
You can build a brand for your classroom. You can learn how to make posters. There's even a workshop on branding basics. And this one they covered color psychology. Scrolling down to number 7, ask students to create their learning plans. We always are asking the students, what are your goals? What do you want to do? How do you want to get there? How can we help you reach your goals? Again, maybe digital literacy, they could use this template and build off of that to put in what their goals are and where they want to end up and how we can help. So that's just another idea I was thinking about for the students. You can do group projects. Students can create a group of up to 10 members for free. So that's something you might want to share if they want to work on a group project together. Let me scroll down here to, these are pictures of other group projects. Quantity information with charts and graphs. You can find this on the elements icon. It always surprises me when we have students who would look at this graph right here and have no idea they would not be able to comprehend what it's trying to tell them. So maybe you could use this in a classroom on a presentation to kind of explain bars and graphs on these activity sheets. And of course, number 10, create worksheets and exercises, which we covered in part 1. So right now I'm going to switch back to, and I apologize if I went through this quick or if you can't find the link, but I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint right now. Are there any questions so far?
Let me see. Lots of great comments. The question about how can we use this, with our students, I think that was Ashley's question, and I think it's a really good idea. I do want to challenge everybody to think about how you can have ELL students use Canva, because
Yes.
I see a real benefit of your higher level ESL students using this to talk and to create or develop a portfolio. I think there's a lot of benefit for them to work together. So there is a question from Ashley, and she says, when you are creating a presentation, can you change the backgrounds on the template?
Yes, you can. You click on the background on the template itself, not on the text, but just on the template itself, and then click backgrounds. In fact, let me show you real quick how to do that. Let me go to
Okay, well, let's demonstrate. She says,
Yeah.
yes, but I think it would be good for everybody to see. So
Yeah, no
good,
problem.
good question, Ashley.
All right, I'm going to click on this one that I've already done, was playing with earlier. This is the one with the, you can play around with it. You can click on the text box, but you can also click on the background. And you click right here, and you can change the color of the background. And you can do that on any of them, or you can click here and change the background itself. Say, I don't want a blue porch, I want an ocean scene. And then you can play around with whatever background or whatever text you want. Does that answer your question? And also I saw a question about the undo button. It's right up here above on the top left-hand side of your screen. Just click undo and it takes it away. And like I said, you can also use your backspace button if you need to.
I have something to
Yeah.
interject real quick. Regarding the question about recording presentations on Canva, what I think you could do is download it as a Microsoft PowerPoint, and so it will convert on your computer to a PowerPoint presentation. And from the PowerPoint presentation, you could record as you normally would. But one thing I want to point out, we got to remember Canva is in business to make money. This is one of the features that they're going to ask you, to do an upsell for. So you'll have to be careful because it may let you download some things. It may take you to an ad like this where they want you to try it for free for 30 days. So that there are some times that you'll run into that with Canva, something that you would like to do, maybe a little more advanced feature like recording a PowerPoint presentation. The option is there, but you may have to get the subscription in order to access it. So I just wanted to point that out because I think we had that question earlier, and I'm not sure that answers exactly what they were asking, but that's the best I can do right now.
Oh, sorry, Randy.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Jesse had a question about the animation, so I guess in following that reasoning, Josh downloaded as a PowerPoint, and then she could maybe do the animations as PowerPoint, right? I don't know.
Yes, I think sometimes depending on the document and depending on the Canva account, you will have to pay for things like certain animations. So, like I said, you got to remember this company is a great company to provide so many features for free, but they are a for-profit company, so we can expect things like that to turn up on occasion. So, yes, I think that would be another example where they would try to upsell you on certain features on the website.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you so much.
What I'm going to do, I just clicked on the More button. If you wanted to add a YouTube video, you just click on it, type in the search button what you want to look at. For instance, you have to teach a math class maybe. You can type in Khan Academy and drag it and drop it. And all of a sudden, you can teach Analysis Intro Part 1 right there, okay? There's also different features on the More button. You can come up here to where it says Add an Embed. And if you have a Spotify account, that's where you can put some music into the presentations, or iTunes, or YouTube with music. You can do a TED Talk if you want to add a TED Talk to your presentation, or if you have your own pictures on Facebook or Instagram that you want to put in there, or Twitter, you can click on any of this and it'll help you upload it. Hopefully, this gives you kind of an idea of the power of Canva. Are you looking at the screen like this right now? And if so, I apologize, but feel free to email any questions you have.
I just want to let everyone know, because I think I said this last week, is that this is Josh and Randy's first Tech and Tell webinars, and I think they did an absolute phenomenal job. And so I don't think there's any apologies necessary. So, Randy, stop that. Because
Well,
you're doing an awesome job. You're doing an
Thank you. If
awesome
I had
job.
$1 for every time I needlessly apologized, I wouldn't have to work. So.
Exactly. Well, I'm the same way. And even when you do Tech and Tells as many times as I have or Ashley's done, we tend to go over. So I just want to just say that. If you do want to get a hold of Josh and Randy, email me too, and I can send their email. So on behalf of Train PD, thanks you guys. I hope that I've hooked you and that you want to that you want to come back and
Come
present.
back for part 3.
Yes, come back for part 3 for something or a part 1. Very strong presenters on Tech and Tell, and I think the two of you together brought a different dynamic. Don't you guys agree? That was just awesome. Don't you guys agree? And thanks to you both, Josh and Randy. I can't
Welcome.
I
Thank
can't
you.
say enough. I can't say enough. So thank you.
We enjoyed it.
And until next time, take care, everybody. Bye bye.